The last time Stephen Kenny and John Caulfield shared a sideline as rivals, the stage was the Aviva Stadium and the game was the 2018 FAI Cup final. That was the culmination of a 5-year rivalry between Kenny's Dundalk and Caulfield's Cork City, an era which included 4 cup finals in a row. Now Dundalk edged it that day to bring the cup count to 2-2, but Kenny's team, crucially, won 4 league titles, with City the runner-up on each occasion. 2017 was the exception, a year where both of the major trophies went south. Caulfield prevailed in some important battles, but ultimately it was Kenny that won the war. After that Aviva win, he was recruited by the FAI to become Ireland manager in waiting. 6 months later, Caulfield was out of work. His next job was in the First Division, a project to rebuild Galway United that was slow to get off the ground, but has now become a reality. As they reach the halfway point in their season, the newly promoted club are 4th in the table, 4 points off second with 2 games in hand. He arrives at Kenny's new place of work tonight with a 7-point advantage over his old foe. The Saints boss is searching for a first win after a frustrating start with a pair of injury time concessions, meaning he just has a solitary point on the board from 3 games. Galway have the meanest defence in the league, conceding just 9 goals in 17 starts. By comparison, the Saints have shipped 22 in 19. In their previous managerial lives, there was a clash of styles, and we can expect more of the same here. Galway are resolute, ruthlessly efficient with set pieces. Pats can be good to watch, but they lack that streetwise sense that Kenny's Dundalk team possessed. There's no guarantee the game will be entertaining, but the sideline dynamic will be fascinating. Last Friday's win in Tallaght has placed a new level of expectation on Damien Duff Shelburne. They're now 6th clear at the top, and their next 2 matches are at home to teams in the bottom 3. Duff has spoken about the contrast between his team's focused approach to Dublin derbies and the drop in levels that has accompanied lower profile encounters. If they can learn to routinely deal with home games against the likes of Sligo Rovers, an opponent that did bloody the nose of Derry City last week, then their league title dream can most definitely become a reality. Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians will enjoy the novelty of a 13-day break after their away trips tonight. International call-ups has allowed the clubs to get their next 2 games called off, including a derby in Tallaght. No tears will be shed in either camp, with Bohs hoping to have a stronger squad after the July window and an injury-hit Rovers group in need of a recharge. The champions are in Drogheda, a venue where they have endured some tough evenings in recent years. They'll need to be totally switched on tonight. 5 defeats in 19 have squeezed their margin for error, and they'll face a Drogs team on the recovery trail after falling apart in back-to-back fixtures. Ticket demand is high in Waterford for the visit of Bohs. They're now 1 point ahead of their guests and have conceded the same amount of goals, but the Blues have been more prolific, with 5 more on the board. Their home form has improved too, and is stating the obvious to declare the Pádraig Amond will test a Bohs defence short of experience. John Daly will be introduced to the Dundalk crowd before his new club's encounter with Derry City. He's got to work this week, bringing in Graham Kelly from St Pat's to add to his backroom and confirming the exit of the suspended goalkeeper George Shelby after he talked himself into trouble. More personnel changes are on the cards. Incredibly, despite sitting bottom, Dundalk have kept 6 clean sheets in a row with Oriel. Derry City have a large ex-Dundalk contingent who have no excuse for being caught out by the surface. We'll have our usual post-match video review on the Irish Independent website.